Today's lesson is family love. Today we're going to talk about family, love, and the complications that come with loving family. I have some very special guests with me today, and I want to introduce them first before we go any further. I have with me Miss Darnetta Austin. Woo! And Miss Shakita Stagg. Woo! Welcome to the show, ladies. Thank you so much for being here.
And thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here. Today, we're just going to have a candid conversation in our Inspiration Impact. And you know what I always say about Inspiration Impact? I want you to be inspired so that you can use the information that you receive here to use it to impact your life. I want you to make changes. Then we're going to move into our Speak Into Your Life, where I have a special message to deliver to you, and then our community resources. So back to Miss Darnetta and Miss Shakita. Let's talk about family, because it is not easy. Am I right?
No, not at all.
It is not easy at all. We were just sort of joking around before we started taping, and Miss Darnetta and I was talking about how love and like, okay? How you can love your family, but that does not mean you like them, okay? And I know in a way that might sound a little bit mean, but you know it's true. You know it's true. You know family, you love them, but sometimes it's not easy. Let's just face it. It's not easy. Is it, ladies?
Not at all.
My family is very special to me. I love every single one of you. Every single one of you. I love you. However, okay, let's just keep it real, because this is a real show for real people with real concerns, okay? And it's something we got to talk about. We're going to talk about love. We can't just talk about intimate love. We just can't talk about dating, okay, and marriage. We got to talk about some of these issues that is sort of messing with the fabric of our society. Yeah. Okay, some of the things that's really holding us back as individuals, and sometimes that family conflict, it actually gets in the way of us growing at our jobs, okay, with your children and how you parent them, okay, and definitely in your intimate relationship. So let's see if we can talk through some of this and maybe solve some problems today, maybe inspire you to make some changes in the way you interact with your family members. So my family, I am the oldest girl, middle child. I don't claim the whole, you know, where I am, you know, better than everyone. I work harder, but let's just face it, I work darn hard, okay? I'm the oldest girl, so, you know, it hasn't been easy. I know, that's okay, you don't have to feel sorry for me. But I work really hard. I have an older brother who I love, and I have a younger sister, and of course my mom, my dad passed away last year, and my stepdad. So those are my immediate family members, and I've always been close to my grandparents, so they have been instrumental in my life. And then I've always had older people who have mentored me along the way. I love my seniors, and I'm talking my 65 plus, you know, not just older than me. That's not old enough, okay? I need some people around me in my life that has some wisdom. Ladies, I want to start off by talking to you about sort of your family makeup, you know, telling us a little bit about your family, and then I want you to go into sort of maybe some people who have inspired you. So let's just start with your family makeup.
Well, okay. I am the youngest of 5 children.
Baby girl.
Yes, I am. And I'm 40 years old, still have not let loose of the baby title, but hey, it's all good. My dad died year before last, 2014 as well.
Okay.
So it's just basically me, my mom, my 2 sisters, and my 2 brothers. Of course, me and my sisters are closer.
Okay.
And we also made a pact, no matter how mad we become with one another, we will always talk it through.
I love that.
So I love that too. I love it so much.
I love that.
I have 2 brothers. Our relationship is okay, but it's nothing like the love my sisters and my mom possess with one another.
Beautiful.
They're very supportive.
Okay, wonderful.
And I guess the wisdom portion comes from my dad and my mom. My dad and mom are very wise, always encouraged me to do my best and press.
Yes.
You know, just keep pressing. So.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Miss Shakita, same for you. Where do you get your wisdom from?
I think I get my wisdom from my grandmother.
Okay.
She was the rock of our family. She had 9 children. And my mom only had, well, she had 2, but my younger sister was adopted. So it was 3 girls. My aunt had a lot. I think she had 15 kids.
Wow.
So
that's a lot of pushing.
She tried to make sure that we all stayed together as a family. I think when she got sick, the family kind of drifted away from each other.
That happens.
That often happens. Sure does.
And when she passed away, everybody just went their own separate ways.
I think that's one of the things that can cause some of the confusion in families is that lack of wisdom. That's why I asked. Many times when the grandparents aren't around or when they pass away or that mother figure passes away, many times it gets a little bit confusing as people don't know where to go and who to talk to. But I love one of the things that you said, Ms. Darnetta, was about sort of that pact. How did you guys coming up with that pact, how to keep close?
Well, because, you know, we are sisters and, you know, us as women, we tend to be a little catty.
Yes.
And because I'm the baby, I just always felt like they just kind of bullied me.
Yes, they probably did.
And they did. I'm sure they did. And at one time, we weren't talking to one another.
Okay.
And I think it was my older sister. Hey, Willie. You know, she was like, listen, guys, you know, this is ridiculous. Because I think it was me and my middle sister, Deborah. Hey, Debbie. You know, we were, you know, going back and forth, and we oftentimes put Willamette in the middle, who is actually the oldest. And I think one day she told her, she said, listen, we're not doing this no more. No matter what happens, we're always going to talk.
Yes.
We're always going to see it through. You know, this is not how it should be. We are sisters. You know, we're our first loves. We're our first best friends.
I agree.
And that's the way it should be. And so that's the way we've been ever since.
I love that.
We agree to disagree. And we keep our lines of communication always open.
I love that. And many times I think that families don't have a stop moment. A stop, let's talk about this. What do we need to do differently? What do we need to do better? Okay, and many times, you know, again, we're aging, you're 20, you're 30, you're 40. I know people who are 60 years old still crying about issues and concerns with their mother, issues and concerns with their father. That void that many men out here feel, that void that inner child is still crying about because they haven't had a stop moment where they're able to actually talk to their siblings or their parents about how they feel. And I know it's not always easy, parents, to hear. Children, I know it's not always easy to talk to your siblings or your parents about issues, but it's time that we take a moment and deal with it. Instead of running away from it, instead of not talking about things, it's time that we start communicating about some of those things. There are people, I want to say, that make relationships worse and some that make relationships better. I think what it comes down to, because I know many of you will agree with me, is how will you deal with it? And I hope that you will choose to make your relationship better, okay? I want to say so much more. We don't have a whole lot of time to talk about this, but family conflict and family love is so important. It's just one of those things that keeps us grounded. Ms. Shakita, what are some of the things that you would share with people, one thing that you would share with people of how to stay close to the people that you love? Or because you have a whole family of your own with your children and your husband, what kind of things have you put in place in your own family, your own marriage, your own relationship with your children to make things more or closer?
Well, I believe in the saying, a family that prays together stays together. You have to, because there is a lot of conflicts, there's a lot of personalities. I have 4 girls.
Yes.
So,
Michael.
So it's the girls bumping heads and my husband and me, and so you have to be able to talk to each other and be able to understand each other's needs. Everybody has different needs, everybody has different wants, but you got to come to some kind of compromise.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes, I agree. And you would think that maybe, you know, we say pray all the time, pray for your family. But you've heard me say on past episodes that we've talked about with relationships, prayer is huge. Some things, you know, God will give you insight about your children, what they're going through. Sometimes you could be wrapped up in yourself and miss what your husband's going through. Ladies, okay, you come home doing the same thing over and over. Y'all have the same routine. Next thing you know, you're in a separation, going through a divorce, and you're like, I don't know what happened. Guys, this happens to you too. Okay, you got to wake up and pray about something so that you can have insight about your relationship, about family conflict, how to deal with people. You know, we all have different personalities, but what it comes down to is family, is that we need each other. Okay, I'm going to have some more insight for you in the Speak Into Your Life. But as we wrap up here, I want to thank Ms. Darnetta and Ms. Shakita. And I want to ask if there's any lasting words, any advice that you would give people who are trying to get closer with their family and trying to bring everybody together.
I think it's important to respect one another. Know everybody has an opinion, and everybody's opinion should be valued. But at the same time, we also pacify our family members and we make excuses for their bad behavior.
Yes.
And sometimes that's not a good thing. Everything needs to come full circle. Face it, this is what's going wrong and this is what we can do to press through it and make it better. So I think that helps better everybody all around.
Yes, I agree.
So.
Then you don't have favoritism. Then you don't have people not liking one another. You don't have siblings against siblings.
Right.
You don't have things missing and unsaid. And then people leaving and they didn't talk about it.
Exactly.
So it's better to have that conversation than to not. So all of us have done it. So just know that we're leaving you with this big piece of information and wisdom. Talk about it. Deal with it. Run toward it, not away from it. I promise you, it might get a little sticky, it might hurt for a little while, but in the long run, your relationships with your family members will be better.
Right.
Okay? And not just do it so you feel better. Don't do it in a negative or a mean way, but do it in a way where it's coming from your hurt, but it's coming in a way that is with love. Okay? We need family. We need that for our country. We need that for ourselves. We need that for our children. Thank you so much for watching. It's Life Changing. We'll be right back. It's now time for me to speak into your life. Earlier, we were talking about family. Family is so complicated. However, I always say that the church and family are two of the most painful places, but also they're the most healing. Anytime that you are with your family, those awesome times, those good times when you're laughing and everything's going good, it's wonderful. It's awesome, right? But when things aren't going so well, it hurts. It hurts. It just really makes you ache because you don't understand how to work through them. And many times, again, like we said earlier, people don't even work through those problems. Okay? And when you run away, or which most of us do, we just avoid it altogether. We just say, well, I'm just not going to call so-and-so. I'm not going to go visit. I'm so glad I don't have to see them until the next holiday. And we just don't deal with it. You have your own families. You have your own life. You have your own career. So you just don't deal with it unless you live with your family. And then that's on you, okay? But many times when you have these issues and you don't deal with them, it leaves a void that is filled with pain. And a lot of times people are trying to fill it up with other things, okay? Drinking, drugs, whatever. But most of the time, men or women trying to find that love that they don't have. You heard me in other episodes talk about sort of how you need to feel the need so that you can know what it is that you want. What I mean by that is many times there are things that we feel like we need. We must have it. You have to do this for me. I can't live without it. You have to come home at a certain time. You have to say this to me. You have to say I love you so many times during the day. You have to, I need this. But when you need, that should be telling you that something is missing a little bit deeper. What you needed maybe was for your parents to say I love you a few more times. Maybe what you needed was for your father to stay around. Maybe what you needed was to feel like you were safe when you were a kid. So now in your adult relationships, you're feeling like there's a void. But if you can feel the need by working on some of that family conflict, then you can focus on what you want from your intimate relationships. Because no man and no woman can fill that void. They can't give you the things that sometimes your parents should have given you. And you may be 30 or 40 or pushing 50. It doesn't matter. I don't deal with age. I only deal with feelings. I only deal with pain. I only deal with hurt. I only deal with life. And sometimes you have to fill those voids so that you can focus on having healthy relationships. So I have my 5 ways, hopefully, of helping you to have a better family life. This is in theory, and this is in a perfect world, but here goes. I'm going to give it to you anyway, okay? 1, I want you to know that many times we surround ourselves with unhealthy people. They're unworthy of your time. They're unworthy of your love. I want you to deal with your family conflict. I want you to be aware of those people that you have in your life that you think are loving you, but they don't love you. Some of them barely even like you. You don't even like them. Many of them you're just tolerating because you need, or at least you feel like you need, those people in your life. I want you to get your crowd, get your circle right. You can run, but you can't hide. I want you to face the music and understand that family is important. Stop lying to yourself and telling yourself that family is not important, because it is. And at the end of the day, and I'm talking about life, All that you have left will be your family. I want you to understand that. Number 2, parents. I want you to love your children. I'm not talking about the parents with the small kids. I'm talking about parents who have kids of all different ages, especially the older children. That's the older past 18. Love your children unconditionally. I know that parents always say, well, I love them based on their needs. No, that's not what they need. They need you to love them because they're them. Simply because they're your child, not because of what they need. This one loves football, or this one loves to bake cupcakes, or this one loves it. It doesn't matter. They just need to be loved for them. It doesn't matter how tall or short, big, wide, short. It doesn't matter. Love them for them unconditionally. Be smart about it. Love them unconditionally, though. Okay? Don't do everything for them. We talked about that a little bit earlier. Some of you moms and sons, I've talked about this before. Okay? Don't cuddle the sons. What you do is you keep them from being able to grow up to be men. And then he gets with this other woman and he doesn't know how to be a man, so he mistreats her. And in your insecurity, you might be a little bit happy about that because you think he's coming back home. But little do you know, he doesn't even remember your birthday. I need you to straighten up. Have a good relationship with your children. Treat them all the same. Love your children unconditionally. Love them the same. Thirdly, be careful, parents, not to sabotage the relationship of the siblings just so you feel loved. Don't put yourself in the middle. I need you to understand that sometimes if you help those children to get along, they actually will love you even the more because you're bringing them closer. Don't act like you don't do it because I know that you do. Don't sabotage those relationships. Number 4, children. I got to talk to you as well, especially those adult children. Let go of some of that childhood pain. Stop blaming your father and your mother for the things that you haven't done, the things that you can't do. You are an adult now. Every choice is your choice. Every decision that you make will lead you to the next step towards success. You can't blame your parents on those things. I know that many things are still hurting and many of you still have relationships with your parents, but I need you to understand that that pain is something you can work on now. Okay? It still might be there, but I need you to confront the issue and deal with your parents, deal with the issues that you're facing right now, even if you have to do so at a distance. But start working on it. 5, and very last, children, also know that your parents are people. Sometimes they're guarded by their insecurities. Know that your mama is just a woman. Know that your father is just a man. They're human. They hurt too. Okay? They have their own issues. They had a life before they had you. Understand that they do love you in their own way. And no parent can be perfect. Even if they tried to raise you in the most perfect way, they would still make a mistake. Okay? You would still see something wrong. Know that part of you growing up is understanding they're human. And if you have kids, you know this. If you don't have kids, be sympathetic and thank God that you only have yourself to take care of. Thank you so much for watching. It's Life Changing with Dr. Carlita Perry. God bless you. I'll see you in the next segment. Dr. Carlita Perry. It's now time for our community resources. Today we have been talking about family love. I hope that you have been inspired through our Inspiration Impact. I hope that you were able to allow me to speak into your life and you were able to hear what I had to say during that past segment because family is so important to me. During this community resources, I want to let you know that I want to be a resource for you. If you're having any type of family conflict, any type of intimate relationship, dating, marriage issues, things that you want to work through, but more so, I really want to talk to those of you who are going through I had a couple of people actually call me and say, I don't know how to talk to my mom about how she talks to me. I don't know how to talk to my dad. He wants to be in my life again, and he's acting like everything's okay. He's acting like he's been in my life this whole time. He wants to give me advice and wants to tell me what to do. That's not working for me. These are the things that I can help you with. I want you to call me. I want you to try transformational life changing so that you can change your life, okay? I wanted to give you a couple of more examples of things that you can call me about because family, again, there's so many things that go on. I have a lot of different family members. I don't like it when people try to use me. I look nice. I am nice. I am a nice person. However, don't try to use me. And many times family members will try. Sometimes you give in. Maybe you've given in one too many times. And sometimes it's about money. Sometimes it's about can they stay with you. You ever had a person move into your house and you can't get them out? Yeah, that sucks, okay? I want you to know there's a number of things that we deal with in our families. If you need help having that conversation, please give me a call. This is 2016. It's time for you to unleash your greatness and love the life that you lead. God bless you. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.